Hello everybody and welcome back to another tutorial by NovaPans Handpans. Today we are on to pattern 19. Essentially it's a slight evolution of pattern 18, which is this. And what we're doing now is this. Yeah, that's what I want to teach you. So how would we notate that? Clearly the only difference is in the last two beats of the second bar. And we're going to change it up a bit. So in our previous patterns we were tying the notes and playing the 9 on 4, but we're not doing that here. So I'll rub that out. Everything is the same up to the 3rd and 4th beat. Okay, 3 and 4 up there. So I've erased that. I've continued the staves, the 5 lines. We've got a repeat mark, we know that because we repeat. Rub that out, make that correct. And what's going on here is we've got 3 and 5. 3 and 5, 3, 5, 9, 5, 3, 5. And then immediately on the 3rd beat we go 8. 8, 5, 3, 7. 8, 5, 3, 7. 3, 5. 8, 5, 3, 7, 3, 5, 6. Okay? And I'll explain this rhythm in a minute, the effect of this rhythm. 8. 8, 5, 3. 8, 5, 3. 7. 7, 3, 5, 6. 7, 3, 5, 6. Now the rhythms we're getting onto now are becoming much more syncopated, and for those of you who aren't familiar with that term, you will be in a second. There's something here that I've missed. Yeah. I was quicker at this before, but I'm just getting back into it. One and a 2 and a 3. 3 and a 4, 5. 3 and a 45. Quaver. Okay. That should do it for you. Remember, always slow down to learn the rhythms. 3 and 5. beat, that's it. So what's interesting with these last 3 beats is even though the 8 and the 7 are just lasting a single semiquaver long, i.e. a quarter of a beat long, they sound as if they're tying over the bar, and that's what's so special about the handpan. The notes, they sing in a way you don't have to sustain them like a lot of instruments. And because of that, they sing over the beats. These notes, 8, particularly 7 and 6, when you play them, especially with the underlining semiquavers, it sounds like they're carrying on, and it continues to create this this feeling of pushing time, which is really effective. The way you would play this slowly is get the tempo 1, 2 from the beginning of the second bar, 4. Essentially here, beat 3 to 4, we're going 8, 5, 3, 7. Just practice these rhythms in their groups of semiquavers. By that I mean they're groups of 4s. So pick group beat 3, because clearly that's an interesting one. It's going down 8, 5, 3, and then it's going up to 7. 8, remember, is at the space between the 4th and the 5th line. 7, literally on the line. Remember, if you can't remember the note numbers, they will be written here on all of the sheet music that's provided, as well as a reminder. This is simplified handpan notation for anyone who's fresh here. We've got the first note there, second note, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7, 8, 9, and then we put the little percussion slap or knuckle there. Again, if you're not sure, check out our previous tutorials. Beat 3 again is 8, 5, 3, 7, 8, 5, 3, 7. And you're supposed to play those 4 beats before the next 4. You're supposed to play those 4 notes before the next beat. So you begin that set on beat 3. So you've already played 3, 5, 3, 5, 9, 5, 3, 5. Beat 3 is 8, 5, 3, 7. And then you land on beat 4 on the 3, 5, 6 over here. Okay, make sure you don't play 7 or 8 like I have been doing. Slowly again, bar 2, starting here after 4, 3, 4. Even slower. The idea is to learn it from the sheet and then translate it to your handpan and see what it looks like and then feels like, so that you can then play without the sheet music. 3, 5, 3, 5, 9, 5, 3, 5, 8, 5, 3, 7, 3, 5, 6, 3, 5, 6. What you can do to emphasize the effect of these notes, which are feeling and seeming very syncopated, is to accent them. Accenting is essentially, we covered it before, is just a way of drawing light or emphasizing certain notes. And we do that for a reason. So if, for example, these notes are already syncopated, by emphasizing them, by accenting them, we emphasize that feeling of syncopation, pushing forward. So this is how I would do it. In fact, a better way of actually conveying this is not to accent those notes, but do what we covered in the previous pattern, which was to ghost the underlining semiquavers. So I'm not going to go into the analysis of what a ghost note is. We spent at least 3 minutes doing that in the previous videos, but by putting these little brackets, these parentheses around the notes, it implies that those notes should be in a way ghosted, or in a way not emphasized. So notice how I erased the accents off the higher notes, 8, 7, 6. It means you can continue to play note 8, 7, 6 as you were playing all the other notes, but attempt to ghost the underlining notes, or in other words, feign them. And just to give you a quick recap, you feign a note by not necessarily not playing it. I know that sounds a little complicated. The goal is not to play it, but attempt to play it at the same time. So what you want to do really, because sometimes it's nice to hear the note, you see, but it wants to be ghosted in a way that it's almost not there. Do you see what I'm trying to say? I'm not trying to make it complicated. So essentially, these notes, learn to play them, but when they're ghosted, learn to play them extra soft. And once you've played them, you can play them extra soft. Learn to play them slightly more percussive than melodic. And the way you do that is maybe move the finger that plays them slightly out of the activation zone. Now be careful, because you don't want to strike your notes unconventionally. By that I mean, people have a tendency to hit the percussion sections of the handpan, slightly with slightly more force than the notes. You don't want to be doing that on the note. So just be wary of where you're striking and how much you're striking. But essentially, if we attempt to ghost notes here, it's 3, 5. That was almost accentuated there, emphasized, overemphasized, exaggerated, sorry. Again, when you play this fast, you almost don't have time, or the listener can't hear all those notes underneath, or when you do play them, they're very prominent. Versus when you ghost them, essentially, you could also look at it differently. You can look at the lower notes as if they're being played pianissimo, which essentially means extra quiet, and the melodic notes are played loud in a way, or mezzo forte, which is just your kind of standard volume dynamic. What is happening in terms of an accompaniment essentially is those bottom notes are playing the chords, they're playing the chordal accompaniment, the harmony, while the top notes are playing the melody. So as in with most music where the melody is being emphasized, you want to be able to hear that. So that's why we begin to ghost, or at least quieten the lower notes. So do it however you like. We'll cover this melody in the next pattern. It's all related. Before I get into that, carry on pattern 19. Hope you're enjoying this and this is useful. Comment if you want anything in particular, and I'll see you at the next tutorial.